Hi there! In this video we're going to learn how to graph the equation of a line, or graphing what we call a linear equation. So basically you're going to be given an equation and asked to graph it. So a couple things that you're going to want to remember. First, you want to remember how to solve an equation for a variable. In this case we're going to want to solve our equation for y, and I'll explain why that is in just a second. We want to remember how to evaluate expressions because we have to plug in some numbers, so we want to remember how to do that. And you also have to remember how to plot some ordered pairs so that we can plot the points that we find in order to make our graph. So we're going to graph this equation, 3x plus y is equal to -2. So the three review things that I gave, there are 3 steps in order to do this. So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take this equation and solve for y. So I have my equation, which is 3x plus y equals -2. Okay, I'm going to put my line down the middle here. So I remember whatever I do to one side, I have to do to the other. I want y on a side by itself, like this. That means I have to get rid of this 3x. So this is a positive 3x. So the opposite of 3x is -3x, so I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides. This goes away, and I end up with y is equal to, and I always like to write the x value first, -3x minus 2. Okay, so I'm going to use this equation to help me make a t-chart so that I can make some points. So I'm going to write my equation here, y is equal to -3x minus 2, so that when I scroll down, I remember what my equation is. Okay, so it says on here, they want you to use the domain -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. So what does that mean? That means plug in the values for x, -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. We're going to plug in 5 points for x, so we get 5 points for y, so we can plot 5 points. Now you might say, well, why do I need to plot 5 points? It's important to plot the point x equals 0 so that you can figure out what's happening at your axis. Then you want to plot 2 points in the negative direction, and these are the easiest ones to choose, so you can see how your graph is behaving in the negative side. And then you want to pick 2 points on the positive side to see how your graph is behaving on the positive side. So these are the standard points. If no one tells you, use these points to graph your equation, if they don't tell you what they are, always use these points. Okay, so what I'm going to do is now I'm going to take these points, I'm going to plug them into my equation. So wherever I have an x, I'm going to plug in all of these values. So it's kind of like 5 problems in one. So we'll just start here. So I have y is equal to -3x, and that's what I'm plugging in, minus 2. So I'm plugging in a -2 because that's what my x value is, and then I'm going to do the math. We have to remember order of operations. -3 times -2 is going to be +6. Minus 2 gives me 4. And I'm going to write my ordered pair so I don't forget. So this is saying when I plug in -2, I get 4. Okay, I'm going to do it again. Y equals -3 times what's going in there? Yeah, -1, because that's my number that's right here. Okay, so -3 times -1 is 3. And 3 minus 2 is equal to 1. So when I plug in the point -1, I get 1. Okay, again, y is equal to -3 times, what am I plugging in there? Yeah, I'm plugging in 0 because that's the next value of x that I'm on. So here goes 0, and -3 times 0 is 0, and 0 minus 2 is -2. So when I plug in 0, I get -2. Let's do it again. Y equals -3 times what's going in this parentheses? The next x value, which is 1. Okay, -3 times 1 is -3. Negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5. So when I plug in 1, I get negative 5. And last but not least, here we go. Y is equal to negative 3 times, what am I plugging in that parentheses? 2. Very good. So I get negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. Minus 2 is equal to negative 8. So when I plug in a 2, I get a negative 8. So a couple things to notice. All these points that I plugged in, these x values here, they're the same as what went in my x values here in my equation. And then I just used order of operations to simplify. Now I'm going to take these 5 points and I'm going to plot them on my graph. So the first one is negative 2, 4. So I'm going negative 2, 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Now remember, when I do this, I'm starting at the origin and I go, whoops, 1, 2 to the left because it's negative and up 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, my next point is it's right here, negative 1, 1. Negative 1, 1. Remember, I'm going 1 left, 1 up. 0, negative 2. 0, negative 2 is here. Okay, next, 1, negative 5. Whoops. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is here. And last is 2, negative 8. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so there are my 5 points, and now I'm going to connect them. I have to make this smaller so I can do it here. Ooh, not the best line. And your line should go through all your points. This is not the perfect line I drew here, but you can kind of get the gist of it like this. You always want to remember to put some arrows on your lines because they extend forever in both directions. So now you have graphed your equation. 3x plus y equals negative 2. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.